Your entire law firm could be automated. This is the reality of it. And most businesses will eventually be automated. Your McDonald's will be automated. You either fight it, have fun about it, or you can use that power to your advantage, get on top of it, learn about it, quickly implement it, because these things are going to happen whether you like it or not.
So sometimes I'm shocked because it seems to me that most people have this idea that lawyers are like ritzy and rich and they make a lot of money. So whenever I hear about like a struggling law firm who's able to achieve this sort of financial freedom that really everybody kind of wants for themselves, right? The security is what we're going for when we go out into the world and try to make money. I'm always shocked to hear the amount of growth that is within the realm of possibility for smaller law firms. So I'll have particular clients come to me sort of like you, and they'll say, I'm a very small law firm. I do less than, $300,000 a year in business, and I've got an associate and a paralegal, and I'm just looking for X, Y, and Z. And in a short amount of time, as they're able to grow their firm and delegate these things, they can triple, or the possibilities really are endless. It's kind of crazy to see the amount of financial possibility that there can be for law firms. I want to ask you specifically, what's the book about, and how does it relate to you helping lawyers sort of achieve this like level of financial freedom and also time freedom, right? Like we're talking about virtual practice. How does it help lawyers achieve this freedom?
In 3 years into what I was doing, training, dealing with lawyers, helping lawyers be able to create these systems, I was able to kind of figure out exactly what are the biggest pain points that law firm owners were having. As you mentioned, Nick, it's that freedom of time, having that control, the freedom of time to do what I want when I want, and then for you to be in control of your law firm and the law firm to not control it yourself. So the book is called Virtual Law Firm Secrets, How to Run Your Law Firm So It Doesn't Run You. And it basically shares very practical ways for you to be able to create the systems and how to be able to hire virtual people, virtual assistants, to be able to take a lot of that repetitive and tedious tasks off your hands. What's cool about it is you don't realize how much your law firm can be automated until you read this book. When it comes to your client generation, obviously following up with your leads, skipping your email inbox. If you have trouble kind of controlling your email inbox, that could be definitely be in control. Right now, I only answered 2% of my entire email inbox through a very automated way. How to gather a lot of Google reviews. I have over 3,000 Google reviews that I'm able to automate. So all these things that kind of shares those practical ways that help you do that. So again, to be able to save you time so you can get more in control of your law firm.
I've noticed a trend in that when we were forced to quarantine, right? Like over the last few years, at first there was a lot of fear, uncertainty. I forget what the D stands for, but the FUD that you were talking about before, where lawyers would call us up who were customers and say, like, I need to decrease my overhead because things are going to shut down. And so, the first thing that's on the chopping block is my answering service. And then they would leave. And then there was this frenzy of lawyers who were not our customers, who were calling us up saying, I'm going to need you guys. We're headed into this like everybody's got to work from home and I need to make sure that my phones are answered. And that it shifted more towards that as we got more knowledge and less uncertainty about what was going on in the situation. So I want to know what it was like for you over the past few years, and specifically what attorneys were looking for when they approached you in trying to automate their practice. Were they looking for more flexibility in how they could run their firms, or did they feel like this was a necessary step? And was there sort of this like boom for you because of the result of the last few years?
Oh yeah, totally. Of course, the pandemic definitely helped my mission of helping lawyers go virtually for sure. But I basically had a 5-year head start on being able to implement these virtual kind of concepts before the pandemic hit. And by that time, I kind of had the experience to be able to quickly pass on those lessons. But I had to go through those same kind of, again, questions, FUDs, evolutions of myself. I would answer my own phone calls. Then I learned about, virtual receptionist service like answering legal. And I was able to delegate that out. Then I'm like, I learned about Calendly. So I started this, setting up those meetings. And over time, it was little by little. I don't think of like change doesn't happen instantly, it happens over time, but you do have to level up your game. So it is the little by little, revolution that you go through to be able to implement and automate, different parts of your law firm. But I could give you the light at the end of the tunnel. Your entire law firm could be automated. This is the reality of it. And most businesses will eventually be automated. Your McDonald's will be automated. Your everything you could, any service will be automated. And a lot of people, you could either fight it, have fun about it, or you could use that power to your advantage, get on top of it, learn about it, quickly implement it, because these things are going to happen whether you like it or not. So I hate, meeting lawyers who get stuck in the ways that go with the flow. go with where the world's heading and look ahead to help you determine where you should be heading.
I know particularly those who are running smaller law firms, they have this mindset that, and you were talking about this before, right? Like it's mainly a mindset shift that we have to embrace before we can actually make the change. But the mindset is that they need to do everything themselves in order for their practice to be successful. I can't automate my marketing. I have to be involved in my marketing. I can't automate my call answering or my intake or my calendaring. How will I know? How will I ensure all of it? So on and so forth, right? I could be here for hours explaining the examples, but have you found this to be true of the lawyers that you've worked with? And how have you gotten them to shift from that mindset and be more open to automating these tasks?
A lot of people have that thought because they maybe you could hear about it, but you got to see it visually, how it's done in practice. And then that's like the layer one. Let's just see how it's done. And then how it's implemented is layer two. And then seeing it in different ways that it's done is layer three. Layer four is seeing other people get it done. That's where now it kind of breaks more of your limiting beliefs. And layer five is when you implement it a little bit yourself and you see some good results from it. And then that's when you kind of like, okay, now you build the momentum to go build it more and more. But at the very least, the bare requirement is you got to be open to it. Your mind, you got to be willing to learn from people, be able to do things differently, be able to be growth minded. If you don't have those things, it's, nobody can convince you and nobody can show you anything. So you got to at least be open. But if you're open to it, the world of possibilities is all out there for you.
Let's say that some of our listeners aren't ready to make the shift to a completely virtual practice. Can following your advice and certain principles of what you teach still be beneficial to them? Can they kind of go a la carte to start?
Totally. And it's not, black or white, all or nothing. It took me, again, 7 years to get to this point for me to say, okay, now I'm running this, these automated practices, and it takes work and it takes time to be able to implement it. But yeah, totally. These principles are there. They're universal principles, and you apply these principles little by little to your law firm. So even a micro change in your law firm could be very game changing for you. And it's not just like helps you make more money. No, it's about you. It helps you be happier. Because over time, what I learned is that success isn't making more money or your law firm to grow. That's fine and all. If that makes you happy, by all means do that. But I think over time, at this point in my life, my definition of success is doing what you love and what you're good at. So if I can get myself to get towards that zone of all the tasks that I enjoy doing and I'm good at, then I'm considered success. And that's what these automations and virtual and scalable, all that does, gets you closer to that goal.
So if our audience wants to learn anything more about you and Legal Funnel, and they're interested in what you have to say, and they want to see this like proof of concept that we're talking about, right? Where can they go to find more and learn more?
So 2 call to actions. If you're interested in these concepts, you just have to go to legalfunnel.com. You'll see a page full of social proof of over 100 lawyer testimonials talking about our program. You just have to go there and book a call. And second is, if you want to learn more, you go on Amazon and order Virtual Law Firm Secrets and grab the book. I promise it will change your life. It will be by far the best $9.95 you'll ever spend in your life. Lawyer Nation, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, take a moment right now to subscribe right below and turn on the bell notification to get notified every time I post a video, because right now I'm posting 5 videos a week providing lots of value to lawyers. So click right here to subscribe, and to watch the next most relevant video, click right here. Go do it. Go watch it.